Hey girl, welcome back to the channel. I'm not even going to do an intro today because this situation is just so crazy. This is going to go up on Monday, even though I usually post on Saturdays. I'm still going to upload on Saturday, but I needed to talk about this now just because it's so important. The first video on this channel was about the Sephora Kid drama, but I kind of wanted to go back and review it because there's been a pretty big update in the situation. Apparently there's been a video with over 1 million views going around of some girl who used the Sephora testers to do blackface and just is being an absolutely entitled brat in the store. So I wanted to watch the video, maybe drag her a little bit and just talk about this and how it's kind of changed my opinion surrounding the situation. So yeah, I mean, without any further ado, let's just watch this together. All right.
Yeah.
No, I walked over here and you're about to
Like,
take a picture of
this
that.
lady has no shame.
Go ahead. This is
Like,
the stuff
literally.
that warrants jobs, college acceptances, let alone how incredibly effective this is.
This is so wild.
It's not a face
I'm
mask.
so sorry.
This is
to
so
everyone witnessing
shameful. This is so shameful. Like,
Yeah, so these three girls, I think there are three of them, are just like doing blackface in the store. I don't know if they think it's funny. They just kind of look generally entitled. Like, this girl's really side-eyeing the camera. Like, how dare you guys? How dare you be calling me out for doing blackface in Sephora? You guys are totally in the wrong here, and that's not me because I'm an angel and I can never do anything wrong. That's the vibe that I get from her. In general, they just seem like they're just entitled brats that think that this is funny or cute or I don't know, but they all look like they're wearing Shein. Like, they really came in here. They didn't want to actually buy makeup. They just wanted to make a mess and be racist, I guess. But I guess I just wanted to talk about this because my opinion on this situation going into it was, yeah, there are going to be some kids that are entitled or making a mess, but that shouldn't mean that we're all banned from Sephora. I think that this should mean that because clearly we didn't see the warning signs and we kept letting kids go into Sephora as they were making a mess. This has gone too far. This is someone who actually thinks that it's okay to go into Sephora and do blackface because, I guess, of the TikTok climate and all of these events leading up to it, of kids just being allowed to go in there and make a mess and not seeing any repercussions. And I guess this girl thought, oh, if they're not seeing any repercussions for making a mess, then I won't see any repercussions for going in there and being abhorrently racist. And so that's, I think, what likely caused the situation is just pure entitlement. And we cannot foster that entitlement by allowing kids to keep going in and making a mess without any consequences. And I think at least there needs to be some sort of revision to how Sephora handles kids going into the store. That could mean that they ban someone for inappropriate behavior once. That could mean that they ban all people under 16. That could mean that they require an adult to be with you. I don't know. I mean, I just think that Sephora needs to handle the situation better because when it was causing a mess, I think a lot of people were just like, oh yeah, you know, it doesn't really matter. Kids should still be allowed to go into Sephora, including me, right? I was in that party. Now this has clearly gone too far. And as much as I love going into Sephora and as much as my friends and the people around me love going into Sephora, I will obviously make that sacrifice if it means no public racism from 14-year-olds that are just too entitled to understand socio-political events. I'm just getting mad talking about this. I think that Sephora needs to recognize that and they really need to take some action to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And I mean, these girls look like they're probably my age, maybe younger, maybe a little bit older. If they're older, that's just insane because I do not understand how someone in high school can be this ignorant about social issues. So, I mean, I'm assuming this is like 13 to 14-year-olds. And clearly, if even one group of 13 to 14-year-olds are going to be doing this in the store, I think that should mean no 13 to 14-year-olds should be allowed in the store, or at least not in the way that they currently are. Just allowing racism and just general entitlement, but now it's taking root in racism, to take form in Sephora. And that goes against the very point that I was making in the first video, which is this should be a place of us coming together and celebrating makeup and skincare because it shows our self-care and what we value. This goes entirely against that because it's just showing, how can I show absolute divisiveness and make as many people as angry or shocked as possible? That is the opposite of what I was saying this would create in the first video, right? I was saying letting kids into Sephora will foster kindness and creativity, which it does, don't get me wrong. But if it's going to in any way make racism like this more accessible or more public, that is just so completely wrong that I think that it cancels out what I said before. So anyway, I know this video will probably be a lot shorter than my normal ones, but I did need to tell you guys about this and give you the update. I mean, do with this information what you will, and my original video will be linked in the description down below if you want to see what my original take on this was. But I hope that I showed you like a new perspective, and I hope that I gave you this new information. And I mean, obviously this behavior is really, really unacceptable. I would love to hear your comments down below. I don't really know how to end a video like this, but bye guys. See you on Saturday.